The movie opens with an unnamed man who has traveled to Amsterdam for the first time and abandoned his family for work. He briefly speaks with his wife or family and informs them that he left his Airbuds in the train and would be heading to the market shortly. He then proceeds to a building that has an electronics store, where he can obtain Airbuds. When we observed a car stop outside the same building, a gun emerged from the driver's hand, and he entered the building and began shooting. Even though he was firing in the air and these bullets were invisible to humans, it was enough to start a rush. He hasn't even stopped anyone here yet. People in a panic begin to flee the store in droves. A man doing the same task here hides in the storeroom to save the lives of some people with him, while the alien here also squatted beneath the table to protect himself from the bullet. Before the alien fled from here as well, the store was nearly empty. The terrorist captures the alien member of the team after he falls on him. 2 policemen were already outside this store when they opened fire on him to stop the terrorist. The terrorist then began shooting at Hunan, and the 2 of them fled behind a roadblock. There was another office above this building where around 40 people were now confined because of the terrorist, who up until now believed he had only abducted one individual whose strength he wanted to plunder or who wanted to create his own conditions. That I've carried a bomb with me, and that if I attempt to hurt anyone, even slightly, and I sense that someone is attempting to control me, I'll push this idea until I explode the entire building. This terrorist was completely unaware of it, and he could have caused a great deal of damage and put everyone's lives in jeopardy if he had learned about it. These days, a lot of police officers fall on this building's Eid. This terrorist is currently being contacted by the police headquarters. When they inquire about the 4th, the terrorist responds that I need to speak with someone who can help me get in touch with the government. I have some demands that, if not fulfilled, will cause me to demolish the entire building at the touch of a button because I have a massive bomb concealed in the storage. The terrorist was still unaware that there were other people hiding in the storeroom, so the 4 of them were also listening to him. This man, who is a terrorist, immediately calls the police and informs them that he and 3 other people are hiding in the same building storeroom. And now that he doesn't know about us, he tells the police officer a lot of information about this terrorist that might be helpful to them. He says that the terrorist came here by himself, that he had no companion, that he only fired in the air rather than killing anyone upon arrival, and that he is currently holding only 1 prisoner. As time went on, the situation became more serious, and the fear of the 40 or more people grew, so the government's first mission was to get them out, and that terrorist carried out that mission. A special forces team from the building had also arrived because they wanted to hide. The 2 police officers who had shot the terrorist were still in his grasp and could shoot them at any moment, so they were hiding behind a stone for protection. Therefore, the policeman sent a car there, hiding under it, and these 2 police officers fled after saving their lives. At this point, the alien was in the most panic, with the terrorist holding a gun at his head all the time, knowing that any second may terminate his life. A government representative has now arrived at the police headquarters, explaining the entire incident to the officer who heard the terrorist's demands and how he entered the building in the afternoon while bullets were flying. Only 1 individual was captured, but he did not put anyone in jail there. Additionally, he is threatening to blow up the deserted building with a bomb. He is unaware that there are currently 40 imprisoned on the building's 2nd story and 4 more trapped in the building's storeroom. The cops are making every effort to leave the building. However, we need you even for that brief period of time. An officer named Lely asks her what the terrorist wants, and they inform her that he has certain requests from the government. Lely now takes a seat, addresses the terrorist directly, and asks him his name. According to the diarist, "You can call myself AA for the time being." The diarist says, "I will talk to you later, I have made G's band a hostage, and he wants to tell me something," before Renee asks any more questions. In reality, he wanted Eliana to know that I have a heart condition and that my medication is in my luggage, kindly deliver it to me. Otherwise, I'll be in terrible shape. This terrorist didn't want the Indian prisoner to die by suicide, and the government doesn't want to listen to him. He gives him medicine to help him, but they don't have any water anymore, so they advise him to take it with Red Bull. However, Red Bull was unable to provide the medication to the heart patient. Lily had heard the name of the medication even in the headquarters before the contact was cut off, and she also discovered after some research that this was an alien heart patient, Bana Banda, who was being held captive. That scenario is not good. The driver phones the police once more and tells Lenny that he wants 200 million bitcoins in his account. Lenny is astonished and says that this is a big deal and that he needs some time to think about it. He ended the call, asking him, "What do you think you have made such a big demand? Will the government accept your point?" after he threatened to demolish the entire area. "I just want to take my hand from this government. If I go to Murphy, I won't be upset about it, and if my demands are met in this way, then at least I will be able to have a good life in the future and do the high job I want to perform. I donated numerous taxes to this government, yet they were unable to give us the services to which we were legally entitled." The alien sought to understand him by talking to him and gain a chance to leave, but this terrorist Shahid knew his plan and angrily urged the alien to keep silent and to stay with him. "Roll was like me and I wanted to exact revenge on all those victims." He sent a selfie to a media outlet. The Zeiss employee had concealed the customers in the store, and one of them began yelling at the employee, saying, "I am in trouble because of you. If you don't stop me at that time and don't show the battery, I would have left 5 minutes ago." They comprehended the situation to the point where the worker claims that he did not cause harm since he was aware of everyone's poor health as a result of dread. "If you were no longer living, that is why we could hide here and save our lives." The police also received the information that was supplied to that media outlet. They see the photo clearly and believe that the bomb with him is a fake, so they direct special troops to investigate the explosive's authenticity. The special forces man in the storeroom asks if there is another method to enter the store so that the 40 individuals on the upper porches can be evacuated. It turns out that controlling it might have been a lot simpler. But now there was another issue. This building was completely automated, so when 9 o'clock rolled around, the lights would go out. He would claim that the terrorist would sense any police trick and detonate the bomb. This information was sufficient for them, but they would contact the terrorist right away. Despite the fact that the woman obviously told him everything, AA believes that the police are playing a ruse, which is why he gives the gun to the alien once more and threatens to kill him. He also assures him that the lights will be turned off at 9 o'clock, so he doesn't need to worry because the building is completely automated. He was so terrified that he started to apologize to her and pleaded with her to leave him alone, because my wife and kids were also present. Infuriated, the terrorist hushed him. Now that he was completely awake, he stood ready to shoot anyone who dared to enter this darkness, but after a while, the light returned, and he said, "Ladies." Dalal remarked, "This arrangement has also been made by us so that you do not cause any havoc here. You must be playing a game with me because you stated the light would go out but it returned. I know that if I go alone, you will kill me at any moment, so I will keep this man with me until I reach a safe place." However, after hearing this, the terrorist says, "Fulfill my demand soon, otherwise I can never shoot this man." At the same time, they create a safe route for me to pick up this man and take him with me. "No, you won't harm that man in any way." In the meantime, the officer manually obtains a map of the entire facility from the employee in the storage room and delivers it to him. "I will not allow it to happen that we are doing corporate with you and you are doing corporate with us." They sneak into the building and begin removing the top 40 individuals. The terrorist is now unaware of this. Because a police officer was chatting to him all the time, she informs him that he has a heart condition and that you were about to give him a Red Bull to take his medication, which may kill him. That this man, a man, had a poor mental state and had previously been in a mental hospital. He now begins to wander around the store and approaches the storeroom where the 4 people were. When he opened it, he discovered that it was locked from the inside. Thinking that perhaps this was a building system, he paid little attention to it. Although it was fortunate that the Special Forces personnel were able to rescue 40 people from the summit, the storeroom worker now calls the police once more to report that the woman there is, in his opinion, having a heart attack. These individuals become alarmed and inquire about the girl's health and symptoms from the worker. He learns that the girl was experiencing a panic attack rather than a heart attack, which will be resolved quickly. However, once he has calmed down, the lead here asks Amar what he will do once he leaves, assuming the government accepts all of his conditions. He responds that he will do whatever he wants with this, but yes, he has one more condition. To proceed, create yourself a very royal field, brother, and bathe me in a lemon. A sniper's lace was among the numerous special forces personnel standing with their snipers at the time. His body likewise falls, and he becomes extremely agitated, believing that the police special forces are about to murder him. He then points the gun at the alien once more and threatens to shoot Elaine if he doesn't speak to any of his seniors within 5 minutes. He also states, "I will not speak to you at this time. I have to speak to a man and a senior now." Even though he was on leave, one of these soldiers was quite upset at the moment since his wife was upset with him and his family was in a lot of distress. The other soldier clarifies that you shouldn't anger them. Amar had begun counting the vomit because Nelly had been unable to get in touch with any seniors for 5 minutes. Amar would kill Alan as soon as his vomit count was out, without asking him what color automobile he wanted. He also forgot his countdown and began informing him. These people use phrases like "I need ink Lamacin" to catch Amar, temporarily saving the alien's life. The alien informs Amar that since he has been in constant communication with the special force, you have been talking to them for a long time and that you are unable to procure water for him. The medication you are giving him is Red Bull pen. When he orders Amar to remain silent, LNV becomes enraged and threatens to murder him once or get him water. If he doesn't, he will die this way. Amar now asks the cops for water after hearing this. In order to obtain water, water had also arrived here, which was stored on the opposite side of the door. The alien escapes from the opposite side of the door, emerges, and saves Amar's life as soon as he approaches from one side. And he killed Amar after giving him under the car. The store was spared because Amar didn't even touch his remote control at the last second. With a sigh of relief, the policemen fetch the sleeve and rescue the other 4 individuals inside. As it turns out, Amar's bomb was real, and now if they hadn't worked with the public, many people might have been recognized, but in the end, all of these individuals who escaped special forces through Alien are left in his flat, and everyone else returns home. And he begins to weep by incorporating it into his songs. He risked his life to do so. We learn at the end of the film that it is based on a true story, and it concludes here simply by stating this.